Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie's Cards here for Pour Some Stamps today, and I am using the gorgeous Gnome stamp set to create a fun slimline card today. So I have gone ahead and coloured and cut out all of the images that I'm using. I just adore this stamp set. There's so many images to choose from, and if you enjoy colouring, this stamp set is amazing because you can really go to town with the colours. So next up I have a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock which I've cut with a scalloped rectangle die, a slimline size. It's about 3.5 inches by 8 inches, and I am masking off the edges of that scalloped detail. So up to the stitching line I am masking off. And this is something that I like to do when I am doing some ink blending on a background panel. I just like the look of that kind of white border all the way around. So I'm pulling out some extra masking tape because I ran out of my purple tape, and I'm just masking off those edges there. And once that is done, I can start doing my inking onto the base of this card. So I am going to pull out another piece of masking tape here, and I'm just kind of selecting some ink. But then I decided, I'm going to mask off some more. So what I want to do is to create a ground layer here. So I've just masked off the top part, and I'm going to go in with some Concord and Ninth Sprout ink. This is a lovely pale yellowish green ink colour, and as I say, very pale, quite subtle, and I'm just going all over the bottom part of that. This is going to be my ground, and once I'm happy with that, I'm going to pull out a darker colour, which is Parsley, and I'm just going to add that kind of towards the bottom edge. It ends up going fairly high up, but it works great. These two colours just work beautifully together, and I love the look of it. It's quite subtle and soft, which is the look that I wanted today. Once that was done, I decided to add some splatter details. So I went ahead and used that Parsley ink again. I'm just going to spritz it with a little bit of water and splatter that all over that piece that I've just popped on there. Trying not to get it onto the top part of my card, which was actually not too bad. I didn't get it everywhere, which was good. Once that was done and I left it to dry, I'm going to move that piece of masking tape and cover up that grass piece that I've just added so that I can create my sky. So I'm starting out with this Lawn Fawn Butter ink, which is a very soft pale yellow. This is a bit of an odd colour for a sky, I admit. I could have gone with blue. I just felt like doing something completely different today, so I went with yellows, quite soft, subtle yellows. And I'm just figuring out how to do this. I was kind of debating whether to start at the bottom or the top. I decided to start at the top. This is the Cloud for Days stencil from Pour Some Stamps, and I am just using that to create a bit of a cloudy background. Now, this colour is very, very pale and you don't see a great deal of it, but hold your horses because I'm going to go in with a slightly darker colour again. This is kind of just giving me a base layer of this soft yellow colour all over. And once I've done that, I'm going to go back in with Lawn Fawn Lemonade ink, which is a brighter yellow, and just add a little bit more depth to this. So here we go with that lemonade ink, and again I'm just going over the edge of that cloud stencil to create a little bit of a cloudy sky. Initially I was only going to do the darker colour towards the top of my sky, but I ended up pulling it all the way down. I felt like that butter ink was just a little bit too subtle, and I wanted a little bit more colour and depth to it. But I like the look of those two yellows together. It kind of gives that nice gradient through the clouds. And I'm pretty happy with how this one worked out. I did also do some splatter detail with this darker yellow with the lemonade ink, and kind of splattered that all over as well, which you will see me do here in a second. And then, of course, I had to wait for this to dry. I did get a bit impatient and pull out my heat tool so that I could dry it off a little bit quicker. But I just left it stuck down to my mat when I did that so that it didn't curl up too much. Next up, all that's left is to assemble my card. So my two little mushroom houses here, aren't they just adorable, are going to be kind of towards the center with the little clothesline in between the two of them. And then my little gnome characters are going to go on either side. So obviously my little girl gnome lives in her pink gnome house, which matches the colour of her hat. And my little boy gnome lives in his orange gnome house with his orange hat. And I just thought that was kind of cute. My sentiment is going to go in the middle, and I've used those same marker colors to color the sentiment. I love that you can color the sentiment. It's so great. And it just looks really, really striking. So I've just kind of laid everything out where I want it to go, and now I'm sticking everything down with some liquid glue. I am putting everything just flat today. No dimension to this one. It's a nice flat card, but I think it packs a lot of punch with those gorgeous colors and the images on there. This stamp set is just adorable. If you haven't seen it before, go and check out the Pawsome Stamps channel. There are tons of design team projects using this stamp set. Also check out the website. It's such a cute stamp set. Really love it. I have a thing for toadstool houses. I don't know what it is about them. I just really love them, and I think they're so much fun to colour. And these are the perfect size. They're just sized, big enough to really make a decent focal panel on your card, but not too big as to be overwhelming to colour. So I am just, as I say, attaching everything down with liquid glue into place. My little gnome here onto the right hand side and my other one onto the left. And I just like the way this balances everything out, and then you have that sentiment in the middle, so your eye is drawn into the sentiment. And what a lovely welcome to the neighborhood card this would be, wouldn't it? I would love to give this to a new neighbor. I think they would absolutely fall in love with it. I'm not sure my neighborhood is quite as sweet as this one with the little toadstool houses, but I'm sure it would make someone feel very welcome. Once that was done, all that was left is to attach it to a card base. So I'm just using my acrylic block to hold everything down and make sure it's all well pressed down. And then I'm using a white, just a plain white card base today. It measures 8 inches by 3.5 inches, and I'm just going to attach this down, as I say, flat. It's a nice flat, easy to post card, and it's just so cute. I just love these images. And that is it. My card is complete. I hope you enjoyed this one today. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing to our Pawsome Stamps channel. We would love to see you come back and join us again. And if you are in the mood for watching more, there are a couple of videos here that you might enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.